Hello everyone, I am CA Kaushal Agarwal and we are back again with our another webinar. So today in this webinar, I will be discussing on one of the latest clarification sought by Sterlite Industries Limited having registered office in Ahmedabad, and the ruling is pronounced by the Gujarat Authority of Advanced Ruling, where it has been clarified whether GST would be applicable on goods purchased and sold overseas. So, hello everyone. Just a minute, I am sharing my screen and then I will start the presentation. Yeah. So, as discussed, I will be discussing on this webinar on the topic goods purchased overseas and sold overseas are liable for GST in India, and ruling pronounced by the Gujarat Authority of Advanced Ruling in case of Messrs. Sterlite Industries Limited. So quick snapshot of what I will be discussing. First, I will be going through the what is MTT, then follow up with the facts of the case, what are the issues raised, what are the proceedings from the rulings, and the conclusion provided with our opinion. So, as we all know, GST is a destination-based tax on consumption of goods and services in India. However, the question is GST payable on goods sold to customers located outside India, where goods are shipped directly from vendor premises, which is located outside India, to the customer premises, which is also located outside India? So this is the question. The second is what is MTT? So in Indian context, when the supplier of goods which will be resident in one foreign country, the buyer of goods which will be resident in another foreign country, and the intermediary who will be resident in India. So when these circumstances happen, it will result to MTT, that is merchanting trade transaction. Uh, the next is what is the ruling passed by the Gujarat Authority of Advanced Ruling in case of Messrs. Sterlite Technologies Limited. So the facts of the case are Messrs. Sterlite Industries is engaged in the development and supply of software with respect to telecommunication services management platform, pre-integrated offerings, and trade in hardware. The applicant proposed to undertake transaction of supply, commercially known as merchant trade transaction, wherein the applicant will receive order from the customer located outside India as per the and as per their instruction, the vendor will directly ship goods to the customer located outside India. So the major thing is here, that is the applicant who has sought the ruling. So applicant is dealing in the hardware and softwares and wishes to undertake the trade transaction where he will receive an order from customer outside India, and on the direction of the applicant, the vendor which is outside India will supply the goods to the customer outside India directly without goods entering in the Indian customs. And on this, the vendor would issue an invoice on applicant against which payment is to be made in the foreign currency, and the applicant would raise an invoice to the customer which would receive consideration in the foreign currency. So, what are the issues raised by the Sterlite Industries? So, here two issues are raised. The first is whether GST is payable on goods procured from vendors located outside India in context to whether goods so purchased are not bought into India. That is GST payable on goods procured from vendor located outside India? And the second is whether GST is payable on goods sold to customer which is located outside India, whether where goods are shipped directly from the vendor's premises located outside India to customer premises located outside India. So, what is the ruling pronounced? So, the ruling is by the Gujarat AAR, and the ruling number is GUJ/GAAR/R/04/2020. So, in case of the first criteria, that is whether GST is payable on goods procured from vendors located outside India. So here, what the authority has said that from the combined reading of the provisions of the IGST Act, the Tariff Act, that is Custom Tariff Act, and the Custom Act, it is evident that integrated tax is leviable on goods imported into India shall be levied and collected at the point when duties of customs are levied on the said goods under section 12 of the Custom Act. That is, the GST will be levied at that point when duties of custom are levied on the said goods under the Custom Act, that is under section 12 of the Custom Act. Second, the reference has been given to the high sea sales, that is where it has been clarified that the GST Council has decided that IGST on high sea transactions of imported goods shall be levied and collected only at the time of importation, that is when import declarations are filed before the custom authorities, and the value addition occurring in such high sales shall form part of the value on which IGST is collected at the time of clearance. So from the above two readings, it can be stated that where bill of entry or import declaration is not filed in respect of goods so procured, GST would not be leviable. That is, the question is whether GST is payable on goods procured from vendors located outside India. So here, since the goods are not coming to India, and since the bill of import or the document with the custom authorities are not getting filed, so it is a so in this case the GST would not be leviable. So on the first ruling it is pronounced that GST would not be leviable. However, there is also another question which has been raised in the ruling, that is whether GST is payable on goods sold to customer located outside India. So on the second ruling, board has what the authority has decided that the thumb rule number one, that is the thumb rule for determining the taxability of any transaction. What is the thumb rule? Is to ascertain whether transactions amount to supply, that is whether it is supply as per section 7 of the GST Act. The second is, in the instant case, the applicant is selling goods for a consideration in the course or furtherance of the business, and as such the transaction amounts to supply. The third is determine whether it is an intra or a interstate supply. So here section 7 of the IGST Act indicates that in the event the supplier is located in India and the place of supply is outside India, such supply shall be treated as interstate supply. So the above three states that as per section 7, it is chargeable to GST as it is a supply. The second states that since the supplier is located in India and the place of supply is outside India, it will be termed as interstate supply and IGST will be levied. The third is the place of supply of goods other than supply of goods imported into or exported from India. So according to section 10, where the supply involves movement of goods, whether by supplier, recipient, or by any other person, the place of supply shall be the location of the goods as be at the movement of the goods termination for the delivery. That is, section 10 states that the place of supply shall be the supply at which the movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. The next is, so in our instant case, the supply involves movement of goods and therefore place of supply would be termination for delivery of such recipient. So the goods under consideration are supplied to overseas buyer, and as such the place of supply will be placed outside India. Further, the supplier is the applicant who has declared that the principal place of business is within India and issues invoice for sale of such goods. The next is, the above indicates that the supplier is located in India and the place of supply is outside India, and as such the same would be interstate supplies. That is, the supplier will issue an invoice to the vendor who is located outside India, and supplier has also declared that he has the principal place of business within India. Therefore, it can be said that IGST will be leviable unless the goods are exempted or are zero rated supplies. So, in the instant case, the supplier has not stated what the nature of the goods and has not declared that such goods are exempted under any notification under the GST. So, the only possibility of goods not subject to levy of IGST would be circumstances when goods are exported. However, as per section 2(5) of the IGST Act, which it indicates that the act of taking goods out of India to a place outside India qualifies as export. In the instant case, the goods have not crossed the Indian customs frontier, and as such, it is clear that goods are not, since goods are not physically available in the Indian territory. So, when the goods are not available in the Indian territory, the question of taking goods out of India does not arise. Thus, the transaction does not qualify as export of goods. So, with with the above points, what it appears that first, since the selling of goods is for a consideration and in the course of furtherance of the business, therefore it amounts to supply. The second, since the location of the supplier is India and the place of supply is outside India, it is interstate supply. Hence, IGST is leviable. Third, to get any transaction exempted from the IGST, there can be two conditions. One, it can be export of goods so that no GST will be levied, or second, on such goods the GST has been exempted as per the notification. So in our case, since the goods which are in the question are neither exempted nor any such detail has been provided. The second is, to fulfill the condition of export, goods has to cross the custom frontiers of India. However, However, since the goods have never been imported into India, the question of crossing the custom frontiers would not come into picture. Hence, the transaction does not qualify as export of goods. So, in view of the above, it appears that the transaction is covered under the ambit of interstate supply and is neither exempted nor covered under the export of services. Thus, by the theory of elimination, AAR concluded that such supplies would be subject to levy of IGST. So, what is the conclusion pronounced by the AAR? So, on the first case, it is pronounced that GST is not payable on goods procured from vendors which are located outside India, where the goods so purchased are not bought into India. However, in the second case, it has been pronounced that GST is payable on goods. That is, GST will be payable on goods sold to customers located outside India, where goods are shipped directly from the vendor premises, which is located outside India, to the customer premises, which is also located outside India. So, with the above ruling, it has said to cause uncertainty and anxiety among traders, as it could lead to tax terrorism for exporters community. What is our view? So we state that in the above transaction, goods would not physically come into India, but would move from place outside India to outside India. The second is one major thing to be noticed, that the schedule 3 states that transactions where supply of goods from a place in the non-taxable territory to another place in the non-taxable territory without such goods entering into India shall be treated neither as supply of goods or services, hence not liable to GST. So, with this ruling, we can state that the Authority for Advanced Ruling has completely ignored the fact of Schedule 3, which states that supply of goods from the place in a non-taxable territory to another place in the non-taxable territory would outside the ambit of the GST. So let us wait if there is any further clarification come up by the authority or any other ruling pronounced to give a more clear picture. However, with the current situation and with the current ruling, it has been stated that GST will be payable on the MTT transactions entered into by the registered taxpayers. If you have any query, you can just ping here, or we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. You can ping, so you can ping there, or you can ping us now. Yeah. So as Mr. Sul- as Sulagna Roy has stated, one of the query. So I would like to, yeah. So as Sulagna Roy has stated a query whether when we are selling on some website or like something in the international marketplace but receiving payments in INR. So here I would like to state that when we are selling the goods on some uh, on so- on some marketplace and we are receiving the amount, so in that case it is like we are not receiving directly payments in our INR. It is like it is going through a gateway where the party who is located outside India is making the payments in foreign currency, and after converting, we are receiving the payments in our bank account through some of the online registered vendors. So here the GST will be applicable. The second question is, uh, Mr. Somik Podar has asked, when will be the tax payable? That is against purchased or against sale? So, as per the ruling, it has been it has been stated that at the time of purchase, since the goods will not be crossing the Indian customs, so we will not be able to pay any custom duties or IGST. At the however at the time however at the time of sales, since we are not physically exporting the goods and goods are not physically crossing the custom frontiers, so it will not be treated as export, and therefore since it is not a export, it is not a exempted transaction, and hence IGST would be leviable as per the uh, act of the IGST Act, that is Section 7 of the IGST Act. IGST would be leviable as it would be an interstate supply. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. Tax Mantra is a global tax and legal firm having offices in India, Singapore, and US. And if you have any queries, uh, you can you can ask us. You can ping us on info@taxmantra.com, or you can visit our website taxmantra.com, and we will be happy to help you. So thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. We will be back again soon with some of the interesting topics. Till time, stay fine. Thank you.